Welcome. What is up? Welcome to the Mixer, episode. I'm losing track. 23, I believe. I'm your host, RC, flying solo for the moment. Jeff may or may not be joining. Work is, interfering with his lunchtime, but something's got to pay the bills, right? Because this ain't, at least not yet. Anywho, um, do not forget to subscribe to us. iTunes, pretty much anywhere podcasts are found. iTunes, Spotify would be your primary way to hear us. We also have a YouTube channel. So if you're watching us on YouTube, you could see my awesome camo Cincinnati Bengals hat and my RotoWare. Actually, I think this is Breaking T. Joe knows. Or Joe Burrow, obviously a take on the popular bow nose of the 80s. So check us out on YouTube. I believe it's the Mixer channel. And if you want to find links to any of our stuff, you can go to fcwinemixer.com. Everything's on there, as well as on our social channels at FCWineMixer. I think I checked all the boxes there. Wanted to check in. Was hoping to do a draft with Jeff, an underdog draft. Maybe we could talk a little bit of preview for the NFL matchups. And obviously, wanted to get my tilt off my chest early on. The Padres are officially done for the season. Their 2020 bid has come to an end at the hand of their rivals, the Los Angeles Dodgers. They were swept in 3 games in Arlington, Texas. Obviously, the Padres did not enter that series playing their best ball, and their 2 primary pitchers, their starting pitchers, Dinelson Lamet, who's been their ace for the season, and then Clevenger, who they traded for before the deadline to acquire from the Indians, who did make a start in game 1, however, left not even midway through the second inning. So the Dodgers handled a depleted Padres squad pretty easily. And that's it for the Drays and their season. An unfortunate end to go out. Game 3 last night did not go well. The Padres were in it. However, they just basically just ran out of arms. The bullpen was fatigued. You can tell. Ended up losing 12-3 last night. Game 2 was pretty much the deciding factor. The Padres could have got back into it. Obviously, Bellinger robbing that home run from Tatis did make a huge difference in the outcome of that game. Who knows what would have happened if Bellinger was not able to get to that ball. Hats off to Bellinger for making that play. Having to turn around, if anybody who plays sports knows, especially if you play, the play that Bellinger made, when I think of it, it looks like it's almost like a wide receiver that got turned around by his quarterback throwing it over the wrong shoulder. In my experience, my athletic years playing pickup football and a little bit of it in lacrosse, actually. Clearing down the field, you did get some long passes. And if your teammate doesn't lead you over the right shoulder, having to kind of switch your view from over one shoulder and then completely turn around and then regain the spot where the ball is at while it's coming. So when you're looking at it here, it's in a certain spot, and then it takes time to turn, so the ball is traveling, and then you have to spot it. and then you're still moving. It's very difficult. It does not look too difficult because, um, especially when very talented pro athletes do it. However, that is an exceptional play. No ways around it. He covered something like 60 feet in 9 seconds or something, or maybe it was more. Ended up clocking at like 10 miles an hour or something, which, I don't know if you ever got on a treadmill, but um, 10 miles an hour is a 6 minute mile pace. So on a treadmill. So if that gives you a little bit of perspective of how quick he was going, there are obviously athletes, who get in full sprints that are going, that are traveling, 19, 20 miles an hour, plus, however, twisting, turning, looking up, he wasn't running forward. He was, he had to be looking up. It's not like he was just sprinting for a pass or carrying the ball downfield. He was tracking the ball, and I mean, barely caught it when he got up there and snagged it. I thought, no, no, he's gonna look at his glove and he's gonna be pissed, and the ball's not gonna be there. I mean, I was in denial for the whole shot because he never showed the ball, and usually when the guys make that catch, they're pretty eager to show the ball, but Bellinger was pretty eager to celebrate. I'm not really going to get into the shenanigans that happened after the play too much. Machado was obviously pretty angry. The pitcher glove flipped and threw his hat, which, you know, um, was kind of an odd move. I haven't really seen that done before, but obviously the way Machado celebrated his home run in I believe that either the top half of that inning or I guess it would be the inning before, had something to do with the Dodgers' reaction. Machado getting angry after that, kind of comes off as a little hypocritical, but um, these guys are, I mean, they're in the heat of things, and I'd rather have Machado being fired up and yelling back, like, go sit down or whatever he was saying. I'm sure it was much more vulgar. Um, I would rather have him doing that than sitting defeated or something. I'm okay with a fire in these guys, I'm all for it. Obviously, we don't want Manny to revert back to some of his more troubling actions over the years. Might see a little bit of that here and there. I'm always nervous when he goes down the first base line and it might be a close play. I'm always wondering what he's gonna do, or when there's a questionable ball strike call. I got that nervousness. However, um, it comes with the territory, I suppose. Manny seems to be pretty happy in general being on the team and being in a contending circumstance. So hopefully, throughout the rest of his contract, we get more of the positive stuff that we've seen out of Manny. By a lot of people's accounts, he's a class act off the field. He does a lot with kids, I've heard. There was a radio personality who I guess knows somebody who's in the neighborhood, and Manny's always like talking to the kids in the neighborhood and just like talking ball with them, and it's encouraging. It's encouraging to hear. So here's to hoping for that, and just in general for the Padres. I can't think of a much worse way to go out than to get swept by your rivals after showing so much promise during the regular season, dominating at one point, being the most exciting team, and then having two very ill-timed injuries, probably at your weakest point, which was starting pitching, and just really throwing a wrench for lack of a better crutch word or or phrase, threw a wrench in their postseason plans. Really derailed. I mean, I think I can hit all the cliches here if I keep going, but really derailed their postseason prospects. However, teams that are, destined for titles, eventual title winners, do overcome things like that. Unfortunately, the Padres were not good enough this season to overcome those two injuries. The Dodgers have been probably the best team in baseball year in and year out. Maybe they'll be able to get a title this year. It was very painful seeing my daughter dressed up in a Kershaw jersey in this divided household. And I'll continue to have to see it until they're out. So, extra salt in the wound. My main takeaway from this is this team obviously shows promise. Most likely the best days for this Padres team with the core players are still to come. They went 21-5 at one point during the season in a 162 game season. I don't know if they can match that stretch, but in the years to come, it'll be interesting to see if that ends up being the best stretch that they go through. Obviously, maybe they'll have overall better seasons, which is what we're hoping for. However, I am not, as exciting as this season was, and making a lot of people proud to say they're a Padre fan. It no longer has to go with disclaimers or qualifications to your fandom. I really enjoyed watching the games this year. Some of the most fun I've had watching sporting events was watching the Padres this year. However, I'm not satisfied with the outcome of this season. I'm tired of getting consolation prizes. I'm tired of moral victories. The whole aim for this team was to be contending by 2021. They appear to have beaten that mark. Obviously, they contended this year. However, I've put a lot of thought into in the past when teams I've rooted for have been in contention. Mostly thinking about the 98 Padres team. I remember I was heartbroken. I was a kid. I think I was like 12 or 13. So, I mean, it was right there at, that wheelhouse of still, having this child innocence, optimism, and, excitement towards everything. And I just remember them getting swept by the Yankees, and I was so upset. Was just really upset every single game. They were never really in it, unfortunately. And I remember, the game 4 was at the Murph back then. I guess it was Qualcomm by then. Anyway, the stadium in Mission Valley. And after the game, the fans stayed in the stands until the Padres players went out there. And I remember the crowd was giving the team applause. And I remember Caminiti looking up and saying, next year, we'll be back. And spoiler alert, they were not back. They haven't not been back to the World Series since. They have not made the NLCS since. They hadn't won a playoff series since until this year. So obviously nothing's guaranteed. Obviously the makeup of that team is different than this team, but nothing is nothing is certain. Um, as good as this team looks, there's no promise that they're going to be in contention next year. So for that reason, I am disappointed. I am not discouraged. However, um, I don't I just don't see I don't see the potential of this team softening the blow of a team being in contention this year and looking like the best team in baseball for a stretch, not making it. So gonna get over it. Obviously, however, it stings. It burns. Um, however, again, what a season. What a fun ride, and I do appreciate what the team did and all the entertainment that they provided over the season. And yeah, really excited for the young players and to watch them throughout their career. So those are my thoughts on the Padres. Let me know what your thoughts are, how you're feeling. We'll talk through this. Um, we'll we'll be ready when the regular season rolls around next year. We get more baseball next year. I'm really excited to watch this team for 162 games. Never thought I'd say that about any baseball team. So yeah, it should be a fun ride next year. I am also encouraged by the fact that the Padres have the most exciting team in baseball. They have a new look. They have ownership group that seems eager to bring a title to this city, and um, fans couldn't go to the games this season. So I'm optimistic that San Diego will have a competitive advantage. I think season ticket sales will be through the roof. They've sold a lot of merchandise. I should know because everything's always out of stock on the website. I purchased my fair share that now, I mean, obviously I'll still wear it, but it's going to be taking up closet space for, for a lot of the time. So, anywho, lots of reason to be optimistic. Maybe they'll go out and get an arm. No, I do not think Trevor Bauer is coming to the Padres because of his tweet. If anybody saw that, he tweeted the same thing about the Yankees. However, it'd be nice. It'd be nice for sure if he came. Let's get into a little NFL. Let me see if I can bring up Underdog here, and maybe we could do a draft. Give me 1 second. You guys don't need to see my Amazon order, even though it was just groceries. All right. So NFL Week 5 this weekend. The big story is the Titans game has been moved to Tuesday, tentatively. People will continue to test positive. I heard a Jets player tested positive today. However, they believe it's isolated incident. So hopefully that doesn't lead to another rescheduling. Last night, the Bears beat the Buccaneers. Tom Brady forgot what down it was, thought it was third down. And anywho, not that it would have made much of a difference, but the Bears squeaked one out. I was disappointed because I almost picked the Bears in my Pick'ems tournament, but did not have the guts. Went with the Bucks. Everybody else in my group had the Bucks, so no loss. But I do get bummed out when I see that kind of upset special, and I ultimately play conservative for whatever reason, and it misses. It seems to be kind of 50-50 when I see that upset special, whether it hits or not. So, anywho, this time, at least nobody else picked them, so it wasn't too big of a spot to miss on. So, let me see what's going on in the lobby here. I I know you guys are maybe a little tired of hearing of Underdog, but they do have these two tournaments that they've added in, um, that are pretty cool. The main one I am interested in playing is this Best Ball Resurrection. So for those not familiar with Best Ball, you do a draft. It's 18 rounds. You have a lineups set up, right? So every week, your best quarterback gets slotted in, your two best running backs, your three best wide receivers, and your best tight end fill out your lineup. You earn points for how those players performed in that week. And that's just how it goes. So 1 week, you'll get the best players from week 6, I guess, is when this is starting. Then week 7 goes, and it just totals your points against everybody else in the league. Whoever has the most points in the league wins. I believe it pays out first, second, and third in most best ball formats. However, this Best Ball Resurrection is a more it's just a larger entry. You're playing against nearly 6,000 entrants, and basically whoever has the best ball team of all those 5,000 gets $5,000. Here's the payout structure. So as long as you finish in top 1,440, you can get your money back. So, that's a little less than the top 25%, maybe top 20%. I can't really do the math there, but you get your money back, and then you have a shot basically at a bigger payout. So it's fun. Just this gives you a little bit something to root for. It's low stakes. It's only $5. So I was going to do one, but those drafts, since they're 18 rounds, it is a 30-second timer. It takes about an hour or so. And I do not have the time to do that right now, obviously. So I'm going to look for a weekly draft, maybe a 3-person or like a 6-person, and see if I can get through that. So these are the slates. This is the one I want to play, the 13 game. It's basically all Sunday games. I'm not sure if it includes the primetime game at the end. Anywho, let's see what the lobby has here. I could do this one. There's already somebody in there and go head to head. Or I can pick one of these and hope they fill out before I gotta go back. Let's do this. This one has 2 already. Let's do this 6-person. Yes. See, I mean, look at my account. It's got a whopping $11. I think I funded this after my best ball leagues with with $25 or something. Obviously had some more down weeks than ups. However, we're looking to turn that around. So already have my ranks done. It preloads in my ranks. So we're just waiting on 3 other people to join. While I do that, I'm just going to talk through some of these games here, week 5, and maybe just go head to head, just say who I like and my talking points on the games. So the Jaguars are taking on the Texans in Houston. The Texans are disappointing 0-4. I believe the Jaguars are 1-3. Is that right? Look at me. Got it right. Bill O'Brien, the Texans head coach and GM, was fired. This could go one or two ways. That could spark them to a sort of resurgence. I would say many people believe that Deshaun Watson's talent is being squandered by Bill O'Brien up until this point. I'm very intrigued to see what the play calling will be like after Bill O'Brien's departure. It's going to speak a lot to Deshaun Watson's future. No doubt he's a very talented quarterback. However, he has not been able to overcome some of their issues. Texans, I assume, are the favorites here. They're at home. I believe they're the better team. I think the Texans get right in probably expect a big day from Will Fuller. Maybe Brandon Cooks finally gets involved in the passing game. I believe they will take care of the Jaguars pretty comfortably. However, I do not expect a blowout. So, I expect them winning this one, within 4 to 6 points or something. I'm not sure what the spread is, but, I'd probably set it in that range, maybe 3.5 or something. The next matchup, Bengals Ravens. So 3-1 Baltimore Ravens taking on the 1-2-1 Cincinnati Bengals. Who Dey? Joe Burrow has continued to improve week on week. Lamar Jackson has had his struggles this season, as has the Baltimore offense. However, this should be a pretty cake matchup. I expect the Ravens to take care of business. I am very intrigued to see how Joe Burrow does in this game against the division rival. Baltimore's defense hasn't been the force that it was last year. However, with their familiarity with the Bengals offense, although again with a new quarterback, they should have an advantage to controlling what the Bengals do. The next game, Panthers-Falcons, another division game. The Panthers have kind of surprised. They're 2-2 with Teddy Bridgewater at the helm and Christian McCaffrey. They're arguably their best player hurt. The Falcons, meanwhile, have had some injury concerns of their own, with Julio Jones most notably being out, missing time, and just the team collapsing in some games. They are 0-4. I think the Falcons get right here. I expect this game to be pretty high scoring, but I think the Falcons take care of business. Raiders Chiefs. Do we even have to go over this one? Chiefs by a bit. Jets Cardinals. Again, nobody cares about the Jets. Although the Cardinals have kind of disappointed. I suspect the Cardinals win, and maybe, just maybe, Adam Gase finally gets his pink slip. That'd be nice. The Eagles are taking on the Steelers, who had their unfortunate bye last week. This is the exact matchup the Eagles do not want. Steelers defense is pretty solid. They're going to be more rested, and the Eagles, with all their struggles, do not be surprised if after this game you hear even more cries for Wentz to be benched in favor of Jalen Hurd, right? Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts. I expect, though, especially in Philly, we'll be hearing that even more. The Rams taking on the Washington football team. This could very easily be an upset. Obviously, the Washington football team, Ron Rivera head coach, benched Dwayne Haskins in favor of Kyle Allen. If you remember, Kyle Allen was the quarterback last year for the Panthers once Cam Newton went down. The Washington football team is hosting the Rams. The Rams, this is their third straight East Coast trip. They have not been the shiny, polished, fast offense that they were 2 years ago for quite some time now. Watching their game last week, Jared Goff had something like 23 completions and 120 yards at one point passing. Just really weird short passes to the wide receivers. I do not know what they are doing with their offense. So I could really see the Washington football team with Kyle Allen out there having something to prove, having getting an upset, and maybe even doing so impressively. I don't know what the line is in this game, but I would be putting my money on the Washington football team, and interested to see how that one plays out. We're only waiting on one more person in the draft. So Dolphins, Niners. The Dolphins have not been having a great decade. They're 1-3. The Niners 2-2. I'm not sure what Jimmy Garoppolo's status is. I would assume he is still injured for this game. I think the Niners will just take care of business. Not really excited too much for this game. Giants, Cowboys. The Cowboys are, what are they? They're 1-3. They would be 0-4 if it were not for that miracle comeback. I think they get right in this game. They'll probably steamroll the Giants. Browns, Colts. This is another one. I believe the Colts are 2.5-point favorites on the road to Cleveland. The Colts have done pretty well this season so far. Phillip Rivers really controlling things. However, the Browns were feisty last week against the Cowboys. It seems like maybe they've unlocked their offense. So we'll see if they can carry the momentum from their win last week against the Colts, who are, a good test for the Browns. They're 3-1. So I actually do like the Browns in this one to win. Seahawks are going to roll the Vikings. Looks like my draft is starting. We'll go Pats for this game, and then don't look now, but the Chargers are also a sneaky upset heading to New Orleans. I got the 5 pick, right where you want to be, right? Not exactly. These are not my ranks. Oh, that's right. Only playing the Sunday slate. These are my ranks. I'm getting confused with my season-long ranks. So, who am I targeting? Just looking through. Let's see. Let's populate everything here. So I had Zeke and Dalvin at the top of my list. They go 1-2. I have, Clyde Edwards-Helaire went. So I have Hopkins against the Jets. I like his chances to score big. Tyreek Hill every week is a chance to score big. So I'm just trying to get a big score with my first pick here. Derrick Henry hasn't been that great. They're hosting Buffalo. That game's supposed to be Tuesday. It's kind of a risky pick to see, how that's scored. So I'm going to go with Hopkins here as my first pick. Get my wide receiver 1 out of the way. Kareem Hunt is a sneaky good pick with Chubb out. I actually like that pick for that guy. Going for some other players I am targeting this week. Russ has been just controlling everything. Lamar Jackson, obviously, anytime you get him, especially when, although my theory last week of him being upset to the loss to Mahomes didn't play out, he had somewhat of a disappointing week. You got to figure it's only a matter of time before he starts doing Lamar Jackson type things. I really would like to get either Metcalf or Amari Cooper as my number 2 wide receiver because they've just been blowing up here. Let's see here. I'm going to go wide receiver heavy here. I'm going to take Tyreek, and then I'm going to try to follow it up with either Metcalf or Amari Cooper. If I could dominate the air. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate your input. Saying my team is trash. If you were listening along and not screen watching along. But yeah, I mean, if anybody else ever wants to jump into one of these, message me. You can do them on your phone. Really, the app on your phone is really nice, really smooth. Got a good look to it. Easy to use. So, again, it's just a fun way to have some, have a rooting interest in the games over the weekend, especially if your season-long fantasy team is struggling like Jeff's is. All right. So, I mean, Derrick Henry was pretty high on my board, and he is still available. However, DK is there, and Amari Cooper is there. Let's see. I'm going to go DK, and then I'm going to hope to get Russ on the way back, and we'll do that stack. If this guy picks, come on, Bowser. He went Russ. Of course he did. This always happens. All right. Well, I'm still going to go DK here. So I have some exposure to that Seattle offense. And I could go Dak. Yeah, I'm going to go Dak. Leading the league in passing yards. Dak Prescott. Believe it or not. So my team so far, I have Dak and DeAndre Hopkins, Tyreek Hill, and DK Metcalf. Pretty good trio. Despite what the haters might say. So I still need one running back since I have 3 wide receivers, and I need a tight end. Best tight end available is Darren Waller, who has had some off weeks. I would not draft Zach Ertz probably under any circumstances at the moment. I do not want any part of that Eagles offense. Dalton Schultz actually would be a good tight end to stack with Dak. That's probably who my target will be. So I'm going to, Derrick Henry still available. It's just really, I mean, risking basically getting a 0 if that game ends up getting canceled. So that's probably why he's still on the board. This being a $5 thing, and since I'm going so late on my running back, I think I am going to take Derrick Henry. The other option would be Joe Mixon against Baltimore. Could be a good play. Kenyon Drake could be a good play. Not a huge believer in Jonathan Taylor yet. I'm gonna take a chance here. I'm gonna remember that greed is king. I'm gonna assume this game goes off, so I'm gonna take Derrick Henry. And then I'll just need my tight end, which I said is going to be Schultz. And hope he gets into the end zone. There we go. That is my roster. Here's how the draft played out. I took Hopkins in the first, Tyreek Hill in the second, DK in the third, Dak in the fourth, Derrick Henry in the fifth, and Dalton Schultz in the sixth. This guy has Zeke, Kelsey, Mahomes, Kupp, OBJ. Has not taken his last guy yet. This guy with the Minnesota stack. He's on auto pick too. He had Dalvin, Thielen, Josh Jacobs, Kyler, CeeDee Lamb. This guy had Edwards-Helaire, Tyler Lockett, James Conner, Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson, and Robbie Anderson. Bowser had Kareem Hunt, Mike Davis, Russ, Calvin Ridley, Stephon Diggs, and Waller. Where he went over my team. Then this guy has Chris Carson, James Robinson, Amari Cooper, George Kittle, Deshaun Watson, Will Fuller. I like my chances. Probably hinges on how Derrick Henry does. But yeah, I mean, what was it? It was a $3 entry. I believe it was a $3 entry. So a chance at, maybe winning like $10 or something. I'm not sure what the payouts are on these. It's not like it's not a substantial amount of money. Yep, first place gets 10. Second place doubles your money with 6. Anywho, that is Underdog. That is, this pre-weekend check-in. So good luck to everybody out there if they're playing in any fantasy leagues. If you need a shoulder to lean on because the Padres lost, I'm here for you. I am here for you. Chargers playing Monday night. That should be exciting for me and both of the other Charger fans remaining. Until next week, thanks for joining. PF Chang's. It really is PF Chang's. I got PF Chang's last night. Did not help. Did not help the Padres. But I'm about to have leftovers. So yeah. Anywho, thank you, folks. See ya.